What's up, guys? This is Damon, coach of the Cincinnati Bengallades, bringing you Week 3 power rankings. Oh yeah, he's Hayden. He might be important, I don't know. We have really similar rankings this week, because not a lot of interesting stuff happened. Kind of just like what you expected.
Yeah,
Hayden took notes.
Yeah, I took a lot of notes. I'm actually going to be professional. And, yeah. So once we get into it, I'll show you how professional I really am. And if you get offended by what I say on here, sorry.
You didn't take good enough notes.
I didn't take good enough notes.
Alright, and as always, disclaimer, we are not professional analysts. This is not the word of the land or the law of the land or whatever that phrase is. Just two guys trying to get more views than the weekly recap.
And we've done that the first 2 weeks.
Keep it up. 13 likes if we get a new layout. Alright.
13.
Alright, Hayden, notes, go. Number 11, Blaze.
Number 11, Blaze, 0-3 minus 10, did not move up, did not move down, lost to Ramon 0-3. And my notes for this guy is, it's hard to judge someone who doesn't put up team builders or battles. But by what I have seen, he has brought standard sets or easily predictable sets. He wasted his late game sweeper against Ramon on turn 9 when he went for fake out, normal gem boosted, Hitmonlee against Mega Altaria when he knew Talonflame was still in the back waiting, which Ramon switched in on the fake out. Also letting his fast Volt Switcher take early damage from you, then letting it go down against Talonflame hurt his chances on winning, and he let it go down early game. Allowing Kieran Black, his only real counter to Mega Altaria, get parried by Zapdos late game was also a bad move in my eyes. Hitmonlee was basically useless at that point, so why not just sack that instead? By going for close combat late game against Zapdos so it couldn't roost stall his team was a great play. So as you can see, I'm not just bashing him. I'm saying what he did good. The Mega Lopunny set of Fake Out, High Jump Kick, Ice Punch, Quick Attack was interesting because I don't know if he knows this, but Return does more than Ice Punch to Mega Altaria and Zapdos. I believe the calc for Return Stab is 153 and Ice Punch after 2 times effectiveness is 150. Just something to note going forward. I don't know if Kieran Black could take a Brave Bird from Talonflame at 36%. This was the last move, last turn of the game, but Kieran Black did get parried, allowing it to go down to the Mega Altaria. It was an overall decent battle for Blaze, but he just had a lot of transactions over the last week, so I don't know how he will use his new team. And that is my longest of the notes, I believe.
And that is word for word, ladies and gentlemen. He sent me a little excerpt. That is word for word from his
Word
document.
Word. I'm pro, okay? I'm a pro.
I do not have notes because I am even more pro and I just think off the top of my head. Blaze lost. It wasn't pretty. Yeah. The changes were actually something that we hinted at last week. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he got rid of Kieran Black and Celebi.
No,
he
traded Kieran Black and Slowbro to Bob for Celebi and let's look at the Jirachi. And then Bob dropped Slowbro for Azelf.
Yeah. So
and he also dropped
picked
Superior
up
for Garchomp.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if he did anything else. I think he did one more. I think he used all
these
his
weren't a part of the notes.
Alamomola.
These weren't part of the notes. So
yeah.
I think one of the main things that he was trying to address here is his lack of a special wall. But the problem is he got rid of 2 of the best sweepers on his team, Superior and Kieran Black. And while the argument can be made that Garchomp has similar power in that sweeping area, I don't really think that's the case here. I think Kieran Black hits harder with an Outrage, and also has Ice Beam and Earth Power and Focus Blast and a Flash Cannon and Iron Head and
Kieran Black is broken. That's what we're basically saying.
Kieran Black is really good, and he dropped it and also got rid of his best physical wall for Celebi, Jirachi, and something else that's not important. Alamomoa, yeah. Not the best trade. And I get he's trying to do something to, like, boost it, but I don't know how it's really going to work. I don't think it was the best trade. I don't think it was really in his favor. I think Bob got a steal, honestly.
Yeah, Bob's team, basically how I look at it, Blaze's team got a little weaker when this trade first happened. I was like, wow, Blaze just made the worst trade ever, but he did swap Superior for Garchomp, which is, it's not as big as Kieran Black for Jirachi or Celebi. I think Kieran Black is still better than, maybe not Jirachi. It was really Slowbro for basically Celebi that really got me. But I think with the rest of his transactions, his team is a little worse off than what he had, but Bob's definitely got a major boost.
I mean, at the same time, Blaze might be more comfortable with the mons he picked up. Like, Superior, and I can attest to this fact, is an interesting mon to use because it only has a few viable moves it can use, and one of them is usually a hidden power. And so even with the contrary boost with Leaf Storm, it's not that huge of a boost, considering that you're starting out pretty low already. I believe even max, it has somewhere around a 250 special attack, and that's like Mana's nature, maybe.
Yeah, basically Superior's definitely just a late game sweeper.
It definitely revolves around putting pressure on and getting rid of something that resists grass and its other moves, because grass is his only stab, and so a non-stab Dragon Pulse, if you're +4, will still do a decent amount, but if you're trying to fire into a special wall, such as, say, Cresselia or something, that's the first thing that came to mind, it's not going to do a whole lot of damage. And, even if that's something, even if, let's say, it's Celebi or Jirachi, like, the Leaf Storm can be resisted, so you're going to go for Dragon Pulse, and it's not going to do a lot of damage, although I suppose you still go for Leaf Storm on Jirachi, but that's not important. Next up, we can talk about Bob, who we mentioned a little bit earlier. Not going to move up either, but he did make some positive changes to his team. We'll see if that affects him. Please don't read out your notes word for word.
I'm going to read out my notes word for word.
You should summarize.
This is why I wrote them down. I'm not going to summarize.
You should summarize.
So Bob is
Raymond, edit this part out.
-7. Did not change, lost to Michael 03. But like Blaze,
Raymond,
Bob,
turn up the music really loud.
Yeah, do it. Bob will have a lot of new mons going forward, as we just said, so I don't know how well he'll do with his new team. He let his only defensive counter to Scizor go down to turn 10 to Reuniclus. I know how good Reuniclus can be, and maybe he didn't want it set up on him, but letting Cofagrigus go down basically means free reign for Scizor going forward. He made a good switch into Zoroark. It looked like Celebi and did a ton of damage to Scizor on the switch-in. However, he didn't realize that it was Scarf Scizor, and it goes down to U-turn. Basically, Parasong Celebi to get a free switch into Manaphy was a good set. Sucks that it happened to be late game when it didn't matter. A crit on Manaphy from Sucker Punch Skuntank basically only means something indifferential, but with how the rest of the game played out, this Hex doesn't matter much. Emboar brought it back from an 05 to an 03, but without Cofagrigus, their Scizor just ran house and got, I believe, 4 kills that week. And for a second straight week, a few hacks and a few bad plays cost Bob the win, but maybe his luck will change with his new team.
Yeah, I personally think that Zoroark had a lot of potential there. Two things got hit extremely hard by Flamethrower, and probably were Oko, that being Mega Bomb Stone and Scizor, and his Night Daze, which is his special move, would have hit Reuniclus, especially defensive, probably 2-going, maybe even outright Okoing if he had a chance to set up a nasty plot. And I feel like if he had held on to that and maybe baited something out with, say, Cofagrigus or Jirachi, and maybe baited something out he could switch in on, well, not switch in, but like if he had managed to, say, bait out Scizor with Jirachi, because I don't believe Jirachi had HP Fire, and then, gone for the Flamethrower on the switch-in, that would have been amazing and probably swung the battle in his favor, seeing as Scizor was one of the last mons alive and got 2 kills.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Hayden summed it up with his notes.
Yeah, so basically, just letting you guys know, I only have one more kind of long one, and then basically everyone else is just...
Oh yeah, Raymond, you can turn the music
because
down.
We're getting,
you could turn the music down.
We're getting higher as we get higher in the rankings. You'll see I have less and less to say about how
the lower part is the interesting part, because this is what can change. This is where the upsets happen. Yeah. These are the people that have the drive to do better, to make the trades that we discussed. And speaking about trades, I do think that Bob got a pretty big boost in his trade with his team. I think Slowbro was a really good addition, and I think that Kieran Black is amazing on pretty much any team, and so I feel like the extra power will really help him moving forward, but we don't know until we go forward.
Yeah.
And now our first different rankings, and this is because we can't rank ourselves. I have Hayden at number 9. And
worst
he has
match
Will.
of my.
You want to talk about it first?
Career.
You've been talking about stuff first. You can talk about it first.
Okay. Okay, so this is literally very sweet to the point. I don't want to go too far into this match. He brought standard sets. He was a little drunk. I was a little sleepy because I just took medicine. It was literally like, I think it was like 11:30 at night, and I was about to go to sleep, and I was like, whatever, I'll just have this battle real quick. And basically, apparently I played good. Damon just watched the match until Craydilly. It was literally 4-1 late game, and I basically let Victini take damage right before Craydilly came in, and I switched Victini out. He got up rocks, and I lost 1-0.
I'm gonna clear that up. I did not say Hayden played good. I said Hayden made a good play. He also made a pretty shit play. A few of them, actually.
Late game.
I would love to go into detail about this, but unfortunately I don't have 17 different pages of notes. So
I don't have 17. Okay, it's 2. It's 2.
That's longer than my summer reading report. Will was drunk and yet somehow managed to outperform Hayden, who has been seen being up at 2 a.m. for no other reason other than he wants to. So
Yeah.
it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, that Craydilly, the Craydilly was really good. There was nothing.
Oh yeah, it was.
There was nothing that Hayden really could have brought that could have effectively dealt with it in 1 or 2 swift blows.
Actually, what's funny is that Victini O-code it, but because I let it because it was fully specially defensive, I calced it the next morning because I was like, if I clicked V-Create right here on the Mega Charizard X, do I just win? And of course I O-code both of them from what Charizard was at. So yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why
Literally
Hayden is
the
at
only
number
thing
9.
that dealt with it, I let take damage and then die to rocks.
And that's why Hayden's at number 9.
That's why I'm at 9, but I'm still 7th in the standings.
Not beta yet.
Yeah, not beta yet.
Alright, now
I
we can
lose,
switch
but I lose fairly.
gracefully.
Quote me on that. Yeah,
That loss wasn't graceful.
whatever.
Alright. We can switch pages now and on to my number 8, which also happens to be Will. Will beat Hayden and actually had some decent sets that might have not been standard.
They're standard.
Okay, that Hawlucha switching in on the U-turn was pretty cool and maybe not standard.
They're standard.
Okay.
There's a sub Hawlucha with Citrus Berry.
Do you switch in a Hawlucha on a flying dragon? A type that's weak into?
Well, yeah, he predicted the U-turn, but I'm saying
That's a good prediction.
Standard.
That's a good prediction, and he was drunk.
But then he just set up a sub, and I switched right back into Noivern and one-shot it.
Yeah, because he was drunk. You double switch instead of just leaving the Noivern in the first place.
What I'm saying is he brought standard sets. I'm not talking about his predictions. If you go on
Just
the
talk about
Pokemon
Gavin.
calculator right now, he literally had, Sub Dragon Dance, Charizard X, he had Sub Hawlucha, what was it, physically defensive Cress, specially defensive Craydilly. Okay, the rest of it's kind of hazy because that's the only one we talked about. I don't remember the rest of his moms.
Okay, well, his standard sets beat your standard sets.
Yeah, I brought super standard sets.
Alright, you can talk about Gavin now if you want.
I really did.
He's your number 8.
Oh, okay, so this is my last long one. Sorry, guys. I'll try and shorten them, the long ones, somehow next week. Probably not. So Gavin, 1 and 2, -3 differential, stays the same at number 8. Lester Cornet, 0-2. The reason why he's 8 and Will's 9 is, I believe I get into it later. Basically, he gets fully parried, that results in Sylveon going down mid-game. And apparently he brought Quick Attack Sylveon, which dealt with this Staraptor, which I really like. Apparently it did like about half or something. But it just keeps his awful hacks going so far this season because Skarmory is fully parried and basically useless. He lets it go down against Rotom, but it takes away the only hazard mover that he has, leaving Scolipede and Darmanitan a bit less reliable late game because rocks were still up on the field. He allows Scolipede to be parried, which would prove to be what ended up costing him the game. Gets a low roll on Mega Medicham's Poison Jab on a Fable, allowing it to live and causing it to take massive damage, making the Medicham unable to switch out. I don't know if Scolipede could take out Rotom at 32%, but Scolipede does get Parahaxed on the last turn of the game, and if he got the third Protect off, he would have outsped the Staraptor and take it out next turn. He stays at number 8 for me because this is the second match this season that he lost due to major hacks and allowed himself to be in the situation because he didn't switch into Hydreigon right away to eat the T-Wave. Then I believe he would have won. And by that was when Scolipede got parried. He still had Hydreigon, and what he did was he switched in Hydreigon after Scolipede got parried on a soft boil. Shut up, Damon. Learn how to take notes.
Falling asleep.
God, you made me lose my... Basically, he did what Ramon did last week and cost himself differential.
Hayden, I would like you to
Just
know
go
that
watch.
I watched an entire match during the span of those notes.
I doubt it.
I did.
It was probably my
Raymond
match
won.
against Bob season 1.
No,
13
it was the match we were talking about before this. No, we definitely recorded this on Sunday, the day before any of the battles happened. What are you talking about?
Wait, was it that short? Really?
Shut up.
God. I'm gonna watch that. Okay, I'm gonna watch that.
You can watch that. I get to talk about Gavin too. Gavin lost, not by much. He had a decent shot. He showed like a little bit of fight, but I mean, it's Cornet, and Cornet is like we stated very well. We stated a lot. Cornet is very good. Wow, it's like I can actually speak. I'm just gonna keep stalling so Hayden can finish the match and then laugh with me about it. I mean, what? No. Gavin. Yeah. He got hacked a little bit. Personally, I think even without them, he probably still would have lost. I'm not gonna delve into calcs and what ifs, but I mean his sets were decent. He played decent. Cornet just overall played better, and Staraptor kind of ran through his team.
Yeah.
Wasn't a whole lot he could do about it, especially once Skarm went down so easily.
Yeah, even if the Scolipede didn't matter, he would have had to land a Rock Slide and Mega Horn to win.
Did you watch the entire match, Hayden?
I'm at turn 7.
Turn 7.
I see what's happening, and I think I know how he won.
Spoilers, this is the rankings, not predictions.
Okay, so...
We're totally predicting. He totally predicted that he'd be at turn 7 right now. This match
You're my number 7. I don't have that much on you. Okay, so my number 7 obviously is Damon. You are 1-2, minus 2 differential, minus 1. You lost to Burke 0-4. Instead of taking massive damage on Gliscor and risking the burn from Flare Blitz and Burnape, you should have switched into Heatran to activate Flash Fire. I know it's kind of like which prediction to do. Oh, I see what's happening. This is amazing. Burke knows that most likely your fastest mono will be Scarf to beat Death's speed, so why not just double switch and not activate Electivire's Motor Drive. Unfortunate flinch, and Floor just goes down to Gyarados. End of the game, you didn't have anything to do with Death's speed, and with Ice Beam, took down Gliscor and Mega Garchomp. The only real flaw in your team is a decent hazard removal. That's all I got on you, and that was such an amazing battle.
There's not a whole lot to say about that. Burke kind of took control at the beginning, and like maybe with a little bit of hacks, increase the differential, but there wasn't a whole lot I could do. Like honestly speaking, like maybe the double switch might have helped, but at the same time, like Burke's team just has really good pressure, and there's not a whole lot to say about that, just because he's really good at drafting. And Dax's speed is a really big problem, and so once you're on the back foot like that, Hayden mentioned you could have double switched with the Heliolisk. Well, I mean, spoiler alert, that wasn't Scarfed, so...
Oh, it wasn't Scarf? Oh, I just assumed it was Scarf.
You watched the battle, it changed its moves. It went for Volt Switch and then missed.
I don't take
Toxic.
that good of notes.
You heard it here first. Hay doesn't take that good of notes. Alright, moving on. Number 6, Boo. San Francisco 49 sales.
Boo, okay.
He lost too.
Yeah, Boo, 2-1 plus 4 differential. He moves down 2 spots in my rankings, because he lost to Xavier 0-4, and because everyone above him, I believe, won. Switches in a Zoom roll, turn 2 on a... Okay, so he has 2 huge switch-ins that I'm just like, what are you doing? This is the first one. Switches in a Zoom roll, turn 2 on an Aggron head smash. Obviously, it dies. The only thing I can
type, and he switched in a fairy type, which was probably his best mon.
The only thing I came up with is that he thought Aggron was Xavier's Rock Setter, and he wanted a free switch into a Zoom roll. Good prep on bringing Pursuit. Mega Scizor takes out the Tornadus. Switches in Mega Scizor on Aggron head smash. That's the other switch in I didn't understand. Allows Aggron to switch in for free on Mandibuzz every time, but gets lucky late game that Aggron misses 3 straight head smashes, or he would have lost 5-0. Couldn't do anything about late game Scarf Sock, and it easily takes out Weavile and Jolteon. Overall, the thing that lost Boo this game was that every time Aggron switched in and hit a head smash, keyword hit, something died. Still a strong start to the season for him, as he is tied for 4th place right now in the standings.
Boo lost pretty bad. It was kind of upsetting to watch.
Like it wasn't your 4-0, because your 4-0 could have been like a 2 or 3-0 easily.
It should have been a fucking 2-0 fucking Gyarados.
His should have been
better fucking
like
watch out.
5 or 6-0, but Aggron just went cross-eyed for a little bit.
He was tired from all the head smashing.
Yeah.
Gotta let him off of it.
He had a concussion.
Boo honestly kind of let me down this week. Like, I honestly fully expected him to lose to Xavier, and I don't think anyone else expected him to win, but I thought he should have put up a little bit more of a fight. Like, Aggron just kind of ruined his team, and he couldn't really do anything about it. Like, you'd think of Mega Scizor, who would be neutral and, fully physical defensive, be able to switch in, but, I mean, nope. Didn't.
Nope.
And so Aggron basically got to do what it did for free. Scarf Sock was a really good set, took care of the Weavile, like you said, and that's pretty much it. There's not a whole lot to say about that match. Xavier just completely outplayed him, and save for some hacks, it probably should have been a worse loss for Boo. Yeah. So we're holding out hope that he's going to rebound next week, but until then he's going to stand at number 6, or sit. I don't know if you stand or sit.
Yeah.
What's your analysis? Standing or sitting?
I think he'll stand.
Alright, Boo is standing at number 6. Next up, number 5, Raymond. And I'm just going to spoil it. All of our rankings are the same from here on. Wasn't a very exciting week.
Oh yeah, because basically everything happened like we thought it was going to happen. So,
aside from differentials, of course, but you can't predict for those.
So Ramon, 2-1 plus 4 differential, moves up 2 spots from last week. Win against Blaze 3-0. First thing I noticed is that he clicks Dragon Dance every time he brings in Mega Altaria, which I think is a mistake. Miltank, after getting crit on an Entei Flare Blitz earlier, is not successfully able to switch in and take 2 hits from Kieran Black and goes down, costing himself differential. When he switched in, this is the play that I was talking about, when he switched in Talonflame on Mega Lopunny, doubling into Empoleon, sacking it to high jump kick, then going into Mega Altaria. Basically, Amon went down to Mega Lopunny. He went into Talonflame after that kill, then doubles into Empoleon, then Mega Altaria. All he had to do was go into Mega Altaria, and he saved himself 1 differential. If Kieran Black didn't get paired, then Ramon would have had a 2-0 win when he should have had a 4-0 win without that Talonflame being pulled into Mega Altaria misplay. Overall, he played safe the whole match because Blaze allowed him to, and picked up a relatively easy win, in my opinion.
Yeah, pretty much the gist of it. Easy win, should have been better, but both coaches made a few mistakes and an unlucky pair at the end. There's not a whole lot to say about this. Raymond's just going to be number 5, because personally I think if he and Boo fought week 4, then Raymond would win, simply because he's played a little bit better.
Yep.
And I think that even though he screwed up versus Blaze, it was because he was playing safe. Even if he screwed up, he didn't have to care because he's just that much better. And he drafted that much of a better team, and his sets were
He
that
has
much.
Mega Altaria and Talonflame. I mean...
like, what are you going to do?
And Mew.
Although I agree, as it seems to be working, I feel like he could use a little bit more variety in Mega Altaria to surprise someone. I feel like eventually everyone's just going to be prepared for Dragon Dance, and I feel like if he brought a nice Cotton Guard or Hyper Voice set, it might catch someone off guard and, obliterate a Stray Fighting type or something.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
But at the same time, he didn't, he's high, but at the same time, it's kind of a better than everyone else thing, and that's honestly what it is. It's kind of hard to rank these, because everyone's kind of close in the sort of continuum. It's always, this person is just slightly better than the other person, so they go above.
And then there's Burke.
Well, shut up.
Should we just go to number 4?
No, we should go to number 1, because you already fucking spoiled it.
Number 1 is Burke.
Number 1 is Burke. Burke is really good.
Basically.
Alright, back to number 4, Michael.
Number 4. Michael? Oh, my number 4 is Cornet.
Oh, you changed it?
I did not change it. I sent you a list. Go back and look at the list.
You told me Cornet was number 3.
Look at the list. No, I did not. Look at the list.
You did. Alright, you guys about to see some live action editing.
These are my top 4. I'm sending it to you again. Right there.
I saw it.
Boom. You messed up.
I believe Hayden messed up because Cornet is clearly better than Michael.
Well, yeah, after this week.
Alright, so after that amazing live action editing, I guess I only get to talk about Michael. What did Michael do this week? I forget. He beat Bob.
Yeah, he beat Bob.
Yeah, I mean, Reuniclus is surprisingly good. We might have to move it up next season. Seems like whoever has it uses it pretty well. Combine sets.
I think it should be. I think it's tier 2.
Yeah, so we'll see about that later. But he played Reuniclus pretty well. He played Scizor pretty well. He basically just played around Bob pretty well. Like I said earlier, I think Bob didn't really take advantage of the situation enough. But Michael just kind of played calm and did what needed to be done.
Exactly.
In the win.
Yeah.
But it wasn't outstanding enough, and so I think Cornet is better than him. And I think you should think that too.
I think that after this week. Yeah, we spoil things on here.
Talk about why you thought Corn was better than Michael.
Okay, so Cornet is worse than Michael after week 3 because he is 2-1 with a +2 differential. Michael's 3-0 +7. Cornet did win against Gavin, but again, it was due to hacks. So I'm just going to go through my notes real quick. Basically, he let his Straptor take unnecessary damage in the first return to the battle, coming from a fake-out Mega Metacham, and Rocky Helmet Skarmory took it down to 49%. He did not bring a hazard removal, so the rocks will make it so Straptor can only switch in one more time, and Mega Houndoom will not be able to switch in as much as he showed in the first 2 weeks, how he really liked to put on pressure with it. He let Hydreigon switch into Rotom Wash every time it was sent out and never predicted it. And Prasada over return this week, almost on Straptor, almost cost him the win. And, yep, that's it.
Okay, but you know what that Staraptor did when it came in that one time? Got 3 kills.
Because Colipede got paired.
I mean, I'm just saying.
They got paired.
Cornet is better than Michael.
It got paired.
Cornet's better than Michael. Cornet hasn't. I mean, Cornet played safe, and yeah, there wasn't. I didn't take notes, so I don't get to so I don't have to ramble on about these things. I can just say that I think Corn is better than Michael, and I can be right about that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so basically, I did just check my notes, and I did put reasons why Michael moved up. He moves up to 3rd for a few reasons. 1, he is 3-0 and has the 2nd best differential in the league after week 3. 2, Boo or Xavier had to lose this week, so either way he was going to move up at least one spot. And 3, Cornet would have lost if it wasn't for Hacks. And I see him as having a stronger overall team than Cornet as well. So even though Cornet might have a better team on paper if they faced, I think Michael's team would be ranked better if you ranked all the teams together. So yeah, Michael's my number 3.
I mean, I did that with Will, and Cornet was still above Michael.
Nope, Michael's 3.
On your list, and how is that going to change next week, Hayden?
He's going down to number 4.
Thank you.
Or 5. I don't
Next
know.
up, number 2 is Xavier. He won.
He won against Boo, yeah.
Obliterated Boo, and that was kind of what we expected. So yeah, he's going to stay number 2. And the only reason he's not going to move up to number 1 is because Burke did the exact same thing, except it was to me.
The only thing I have for Xavier is that he's 2-1 plus 3, did not move, won against Boo 4-0, Aggron smash, and basically guaranteed a lock as a playoff team. That's my notes.
I mean, honestly, like, there's not a whole... Like, if he keeps playing like he is and he keeps, like, you know, just bringing the safe sets that he knows are going to do well, there's not a whole lot anyone can do to unseat him.
Yeah, he's about to catch this fire this week, though.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Alright, yeah, and next up at number 1, Burke. And Burke is at number 1 because he did the exact same thing as Xavier, except he did it better. And he did it with hacks, and he beat Xavier when they fought, so he's entitled to the number 1 spot. He also has Deoxys Speed, which, according to the GBA around the Rhyhorn, is not overpowered. You heard it there first.
Oh, they said that? I don't watch that.
No, Burke said it. He was there.
Oh. Wait, Burke said it wasn't overpowered?
Yeah.
But he's been going on in our chat about how it's overpowered.
No, he totally said it wasn't overpowered.
What? He
Yeah, you heard it there first.
He must have been... That must have been sarcasm. I don't believe that.
Burke is never sarcastic. He just wins.
So basically, my notes, for some reason, are longer than Xavier's, but... He set up rocks, turn 1, made the safe place the whole battle, and let Deoxys Speed clean up late game. Not much to really say about his side of the battle. Get off my screen. He stays number 1 because he has the best record, best differential, and MVP on his team. Like Xavier, he's basically guaranteed lock as a playoff team because of how well he is using his team.
I'm sorry, what was that? Did you say Victini wasn't the MVP?
Hey, it got a kill. It's not last anymore.
That's better than like 40% of the mods in this league, so don't you underestimate one kill.
It went from 132nd or something.
It went from literally
to like
last
40th.
in the league. Went from literally last in the league to like
Well, that's
60.
because of its... Okay, first off, that's because of the ABC order. Let's just get that, okay?
Worst mod in the league for the first 2 weeks.
You're
SMH.
just jelly. I've already brought it to more games than you have the last 2 seasons.
Hey, shut up. It's a fire type. It's supposed to warm the bench.
Yeah.
Dude, why do you think I drafted Heatran? It's a fire and steel type. Gonna do the job any better. Even better.
I never used that season 1 outside of letting it die to an earthquake sweep.
Fucking hell, man. I need to trade that. Because Heatran is really useless.
It'd definitely be useless.
Should we talk about
against,
rank? Alright. I mean, alright, video's probably over. You guys can leave now. We
Nah,
can
you
keep
guys
mumbling
should stay
here.
while we talk about how bad Heatran is.
Dude, Heatran, it's sad how bad it is. Like, everyone has Earthquake now. I mean, he should have been able to take on Electivire, but no, Electivire has Earthquake. Or at least he probably did.
Oh, jeez, man.
Had a Shucka Berry for the Earthquake, but he said he just goes for the Waterfall and crits. Fucking useless, man. Heatran is useless.
Yeah, no. Also, our troll league's at 24 people.
Shh. Shh. It's a legitimate league. No one knows about it.
Yeah.
We're still recording.
I don't care. It's not like they're gonna watch us.
I mean, they're gonna watch us more than the weekly recap.
They're UCL. Oh yeah, we get like 30 views. They
Hey,
get
we're gonna end the
15.
video on that. 13
Yeah.
likes, we get a new layout. And 14 likes, and Hayden increases his notage.
Oh yeah. 15 likes, and I'll just make a page for every team. And we'll be here for 2 hours.
Alright. See you guys later.